Shit me, a lot happened yesterday. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to give you a breakdown of what happened, what I think is going to happen next, my thoughts on XRP, and then a wider view for what I think is going to happen in the markets going forwards. How are we doing, guys? Christian.uk here, bringing you back another YouTube video. So, as you guys know, I've been talking about a pullback for a while. Said when we're in this range, I thought we were going to have a pullback. I said in the weekly newsletter, and I've just posted about it, so if you don't already subscribe to this, it's free, please go and do so, that I thought there's a potential for a short squeeze, but with all that being said, I'm focusing the short term and I'm inclined to expect a pullback. This is what we've gotten so far. I had this drawn in for a long time like this. I'll show you, no, it wasn't here, I'll show you from here. Start this move really. I said, look, there's a lot of liquidity here that we haven't yet touched. I'll show you on the hourly, so it literally looks exactly like the chart that I just showed in the newsletter there. A lot of liquidity untapped here. Look where we came back to, literally the untapped liquidity. Could we continue down further? Potentially, as Bitcoin has liquidity down here about 53 to 54,000. The area that I've been calling out for a long time to touch is this $54,000 mark. We've got some like a nice gap of an open candle here, but below this 56, and then pretty much above that 55, and there is some liquidity just below, so we could come back and back test that gap. That's the short term. The good, the bad, the ugly of XRP is what we're going to get into any second now, but I just wanted to show you that first. So we've got that liquidity that we're looking at. If we look at Bitcoin on the on Velo to see what's happening with open interest, we can see we did get a flush out in open interest, but realistically there's still probably quite a lot that we could flush down to. We've got open interest of still, we're at the same level as we were, pretty much in the same place, 58k. So if we do start to lose this level and attack that liquidity below, we could see a further flush here on open interest. However, we are starting to see funding turn negative here. But then in the last few hours, it's turned positive again, presumably as longs try and catch this bounce, but probably going to continue to get squeezed out of positions. I mean, in the short term, again, like I'm still pretty uncertain. Could we see a bounce here back up towards at least 61 before pulling back, or even higher, as we did see on trading different? Let me just quickly get that open again for you guys. On trading different here, there is liquidity, substantial liquidity here above us. Could we get a bounce up, get rid of all these short positions, and then come down for this plunge into here, as probably longs will get added to that? I'm just going to wait and see what happens today. There's some short-term liquidity below us, so we could literally wick that out. And if we do, then I would expect we probably do continue, to be honest. But let's see. That's Bitcoin. Now we're going to get into XRP, because to me, XRP is telling a very different story. Right, XRP wave count. I've tried to neaten this up so everyone can understand what I'm showing here. We know Elliott wave moves in like 5-wave move, which consists of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Now, with that move specifically, I haven't drawn this one incorrectly. I'm just going to actually redo this, because that should be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it should be like this. And this one I need to redo. But essentially, Elliott wave structure is a 5-wave move, and within the 5-wave move, you have 5 waves in leg 1, and then you have an ABC in leg 2, so 3 waves down. Then you have 5 waves in the leg 3, and then ABC in the leg 4, and then 5 waves in the wave 5. And we've just been trying to nail this bit here, because I feel like we've had a completed wave 1 and probably wave 2 of a larger move, I guess. And within obviously that wave 1, we've got our moves happening here. So anyway, what I'm basically saying is, I think there could be potential. I'm going to show a different chart now, just so it's a bit clearer. There could be potential. I'm going to take us to the daily for us to pull back into this area for XRP. Again, open candle here, and it would look, I'm going back to this XRP chart so I can show you what I'm saying. We could pull back potentially into this green candle here. I'm going to take all my drawings off. This candle, you know how I was saying there's an open gap for Bitcoin, there's an open gap here for XRP. This area here, anywhere between 50 cent to 54 cent, we could see a pullback into there, and that could be our wave 1, wave 2 into there, and then continuing with our wave 3 higher. It's all a bit messy, my Elliott waves, so I'm going to redo them, and then I'll post on Twitter basically my thoughts, because this is basically what could be happening if I've got this wrong, or not wrong, but just like I'm just trying to estimate counts as we go, so it's hard. That could be the ABC there, 1, 2, 3. C comes down. That would look quite nice actually. So I'm going to leave that there for now. We're going to assess what happens. So that's the bad, essentially. The bad is that XRP against the dollar could potentially come down further, but we also could have bottomed there. As I showed, like we did have this ABC drawn in like that, so there could be an ABC in there, and this already could have started. So whether we do or not, time will tell. But that's the bad. So what's the good? Well, the good's actually really interesting. XRP against ETH has started to really move again in a positive direction. XRP ETH has been setting a sequence of higher lows, and last night, we started to get a bounce quite heavily into this resistance area for XRP against ETH, and right now we're currently battling. This is the weekly close that we're looking for. Remember, XRP against ETH here. We really sent it up there. Yes, we are at resistance, and yes, we are nearly overbought in the RSI, but it's looking still pretty strong right now, and better than we were back here, and confirmed a higher low again, so continuing the structure that we were on. So that's definitely positive if you're an XRP holder. Looking at XRP against Bitcoin, similarly, we've talked about this. I said that this level is key, that we wanted to close above there. One thing that I found really interesting actually yesterday that I saw is if we go to the hourly time frame, it doesn't look like too much, but if we zoom into this area here, we actually had a gap here, and we actually bounced exactly on that gap. So you see this? We had this gap here, look, XRP against Bitcoin. And look where we bounced. Let me put a specific box, another box just in there. I'm just going to extend that right so we can see exactly what I'm talking about. If we zoom out so we can get into that area, look, it bounces right on that gap right there. Look at that. Perfect pullback there for XRP. Bitcoin bounced on that gap and then broke out of this descending channel and back tested that channel, and now we're looking to push on again. So as of right now, it's not looking awful for XRP. Yes, price did pull back with the rest of the market when it was holding strong, so it's a bit annoying because we were holding pretty strong here, like we were going up as the market was coming down. I'm going to show you that actually. I'll add ETH and I'll add Bitcoin, for example, to this chart so I can show you what I was talking about there. Look, these guys were like pulling back. XRP was marching slowly higher. And realistically, we haven't dropped anywhere near as much as these, as you can see on the XRP versus ETH and XRP versus Bitcoin charts I was just showing you. So eyes on XRP because it is acting a little bit differently again here. Could the bottom be in? I don't know. Like, could we get that pullback into this area here where this candle is? There'll be some liquidity there too. Potentially. There's a potential of that. It basically depends on what Bitcoin's next move is. Is Bitcoin's next move to come down, flush liquidity out here before marching on higher? Potentially. It's another 5, 6, 7% move for Bitcoin. It's quite a lot. Whereas for XRP, it would only be I think it'd probably be something similar actually. Let's have a look for XRP. Yeah, 6 to 11% move if we come right down to the lows there for XRP. So let's see if we get that. It could just be like a push into this area. It doesn't have to come all the way down. It could just be like a push into like here, which would be a little bit less of a move. But I don't want to predict exactly where price action is going to go in terms of the dollar. But we are starting to show signs that XRP is acting differently again, very clearly if we look at the XRP Bitcoin and XRP ETH chart. So keep your eyes on these. We're right now at resistance again with Bitcoin banging back into the recent swing high after retesting the top of that channel as support, potentially continuing higher now. And XRP ETH also at resistance that we've really struggled with. We struggled with this for days, fell down, built some momentum back up, and now we're really attacking that resistance again. Remember, we want the weekly closes above these charts because that's when we see explosive price action. But just to finish this video off, because I don't want to make the video too long, I really think you should read Arthur Hayes' recent article. It's called Sugar High, I think. Yeah, Sugar High. He just lays out what he thinks is happening with the yen trade, the yen carry trade, and the dollar, and I'm going to get into that in tomorrow's video probably. I've got a live stream tomorrow, probably going to talk about it there actually. So if you want to go and check that out, it'll be streamed over on X. But basically he thinks that, I'm going to read his trading setup. Central banks, led by the Fed, are reducing price of money. The Fed's cutting rates while inflation is above target and the US economy continues to grow. The Bank of England and the European Central Bank will likely continue cutting rates. Their upcoming meeting, Bad Girl Yellen, he calls Janet Yellen Bad Girl Yellen, pledged to issue 271 billion of treasury bills, conduct 30 billion of buyback. This will add 301 billion of dollar liquidity into financial markets. The treasury has 740 billion left in the treasury's general account, which will be used to juice the markets and assist the Harris victory. So this is potentially $1 trillion. The Bank of Japan was so terrified at the pace of the yen strengthened after 31 years, when it hiked rates 0.15%, that it publicly stated the future rate hikes would take market conditions into account. That's a euphemism for, if we think the market will fall, we won't raise rates. So basically, he's saying that if it gets bad, they're going to put money into the system. They're going to put money into the system anyway because the election's happening. There could be some chopping around before, and some volatility before that because of people pricing in rate cuts and what that might do to markets and how the yen carry trade unraveling might affect this. But after that, there's a lot of money that's going to go into the markets, and then I think, what does he say at the end? They'll ramp up the money. Basically saying here, I don't know if stocks will go up and down. At some point, historical situations where the stock market fell as the Fed cuts rates. Some fear Fed cutting rates leads to an indicator that the US, by extension, developed markets are in a recession. That might be true, but if the Fed is cutting rates when inflation is above target and growth is strong, imagine what they'll do if there's actually a US recession. They'll ramp up the money printed, dramatically increase money supply. This leads to inflation. That could be bad for certain types of businesses, but for finite supply like Bitcoin, it will provide a trip at light speed to the moon. So basically he's saying that he thinks that we're about to see a big push in markets, but as I said, I think September's going to be dodgy, so I think he's almost saying the same thing, but without saying it, and then it should be good after that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please share it with a friend, and yeah, I feel like I just tried to speak really quickly to keep the video as short as possible. I'm not sure if I even eloquated my thoughts very well in this video, but yeah, peace up, A-Town Downs, Crypto Insight UK would say.